Thank you so much, Rosalind. Guys, I'm so excited to be able to do this presentation for you, which is all about how to generate lots of leads on LinkedIn. So I've actually got about 5 to 6 hours of content that I've crammed into like 35 minutes. So I'm going to go really hard. I'm going to go really fast. So you need to just keep up with me, okay? So for the sake of time, I'm not going to talk about myself, but I'm going to just jump straight in. So guys, this is the 5-step formula for generating leads on LinkedIn. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is you have to get yourself a professional profile makeover. So there is a massive difference between having an optimized LinkedIn profile and having optimized for generating leads and sales. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. You need to understand how the filtering works inside of Sales Navigator, and you need to be able to target your perfect client using those filters. Step 3 is creating an irresistible offer and a message sequence that actually converts and works. And then once you get those 3 things right, it's just all about sending your messages at scale, and LinkedIn purely becomes a numbers game. Okay, and then lead management and nurturing. So having a system for that is also really important. I'll talk about all those things in a minute. So LinkedIn can be used for so much more than lead generation and sales, guys. If you do it right, you can use it for recruiting or finding partnerships. Okay, you can find investors and pitch your investment to them. You can even sell physical products. So a lot of people don't realize this about LinkedIn. We recently just sold a whole bunch of basketballs to a whole bunch of basketball coaches. Okay, so even if you have a physical product, you can actually still market it on LinkedIn. You can actually use LinkedIn for brand awareness and growth campaigns, as well as sending people to sign up to your blogs, your newsletters, any sort of URL. Okay, so webinar registrations, event registrations. It's really all about strategy and it's all about approach. And if you get those things right, you can use LinkedIn for a lot of different things. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to talk about stats, but what I will say is that the reason why it works so well is because it is a trust-based platform. Okay, people trust LinkedIn. In fact, it's the most trusted platform out of all the social media platforms in the world. And so, you know, people find it so much easier to trust a LinkedIn profile than they do a landing page from Facebook or even a website. Okay, because when people see you on LinkedIn, okay, they can see your whole history. They can see recommendations, what you've been up to. They can see other people that you're connected with, that they're connected with. And with LinkedIn, you're directly selling to the decision maker, and that's why LinkedIn works so well. Now, the platform now has 660 million profiles. Okay, and LinkedIn's lead conversion rates are 3 times higher than any other ad platform, including Google Ads. Now, I'm going to say something really bold, but something really true. Okay. If you are a B2B business, or if you can tell me the target market, if you can tell me sort of your ideal client by job title and by industry, then LinkedIn is going to be a goldmine for you. And in fact, if you are that person, every opportunity that you can think of or dream about and all the leads that you'll ever need is sitting right inside of this platform. All you have to do is understand how to connect with the right people, how to turn those connections into engagement and conversation, and then how to turn that conversation into sales. And that's what I want to show you today. So this is the larger market formula, and it's important for me to highlight this because when you market inside of LinkedIn, okay, the marketing message needs to actually reach out to everybody. So the larger market formula tells us this, okay, that at any given market, at any given time for any product or service, okay, only 3% of your target market are in ready to buy mode, okay? They're in buying mode, only 3%. 17% of your target market are in information gathering stage. 20% are just become aware of the problem. So they're problem aware, but they haven't started looking for a solution just yet. And then a whopping 60% of your target market are not even aware that they've got a problem, okay? And so what you have to do inside of LinkedIn is you have to structure your marketing message in such a way that you're actually catching everybody. So if you ever see a television ad, like JB Hi-Fi as an example, their ads are basically targeted at this 3% that are ready to buy. So their ads go like this. If you are, in the market for a brand new TV, then you need to come into our shop because we've got this massive sale on. We've got the biggest brand, the best prices, and come into our shop before the stock runs out, right? That sort of messaging inside of LinkedIn doesn't work, okay? So if I were to sort of put that sort of messaging inside of LinkedIn, it looks like this, and 95% of people market this way. They say something like, hey, I work for this company and we provide these services. Do any of these interest you? Right? Or, hey, we solve this problem for this target market using this signature solution or process, okay? Does this interest you? That sort of marketing message will only work on the 3% of your target market, but you end up alienating everybody else. If you want to make money on LinkedIn and if you want to be successful on LinkedIn, structure your message in such a way that you're actually talking to everybody. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a moment. So if you look at the larger market formula as a funnel, this is what it looks like, okay? 60% of people are problem unaware, okay? And 3% are buying now. So what you have to do is you have to talk to everybody in such a way that you can then capture them and then on the funnel, okay? And you educate them to the point that they're ready to buy now. So I'll give you an example. Have you ever seen a product or a service where you never even knew that it existed, but when you saw it, and you saw what it could do, you were like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life, right? I need that product or I need that service in my life. There's a lot of your target market that is like that with your product and service. They don't know that you can actually help them. They don't even know. But if you structure it in such a way that you capture them and then you put them inside of a funnel, you educate them down the funnel to the point that they're ready to buy. And if you're the one that's doing the educating, okay, they will buy from you. They won't even shop it around when it's time to buy, okay? So understanding that LinkedIn, there's two games to play inside of LinkedIn, okay? There is the short game and there is also the long game. The short game is all about getting leads today, okay? Getting leads in your LinkedIn inbox right now, right? And what the short game does is it pays the bills, obviously puts food on the table, okay? But it's not how you scale your business inside of LinkedIn. If you really want to be successful on LinkedIn, you need to play the long game, okay? So the short game's great, don't get me wrong. You need to obviously do, get the leads in, close those leads, make money. But if you really want to play the long game and be successful, okay, what you need to do is add thousands of perfect future customers inside of your LinkedIn network. And once you've got that massive database, okay, because LinkedIn will allow you to have 30,000 people in your database. And if every single one of them is in your database that are your perfect future customers, what will happen is there'll come a time when you've got so many perfect future customers in your database that you can literally click a button and turn on the tap and get sales, okay? So if you're, going to Sydney as an example to do a presentation or a webinar, you can click a button and get bums on seats, okay? As an example. So how you treat the 10% and how you treat the 90% is very, very different, okay? The 10% will convert very quickly. They'll be interested in the offer that you make them. They'll be, wanting phone calls. They'll be wanting meetings. They'll be asking for, presentations or, information from you. The 90%, you got to nurture them, okay? You got to build that relationship and you got to build your authority and become the subject leader and the subject on that, okay? And you do that through posting on the newsfeed. You can do that by sending them different offers from time to time and then nurturing them through email. Now, guys, I'm going to talk about copywriting, okay? Copywriting inside of your LinkedIn profile as well as your message sequence. And to do that, I need to highlight how important copywriting is. So I'm going to tell a story. So Nora Hayden, okay, wrote this book in 1982 called Astrological Love, okay? It was a book about how to seduce women. And basically, she printed out 5,000 copies of this book, okay? So she paid for that 5,000 printing. She only ended up selling 2,000, so she struggled to sell 2,000. The other 3,000 books ended up in secondhand bookshops and then flea markets, right? Now, it was at one of those secondhand bookshops that a New York Times publisher picked up her book, bought it, read it, and thought, hey, this is actually a really good book on how to seduce. And so what happened, cut a long story short, he bought the rights to the book, okay? And then all he did was change the front cover, okay? And he changed it from this cover, the Astrological Love, to how to satisfy a woman every time and have her beg for more. Okay. And that book went on to sell 2.5 million copies. Okay. And the reason why I'm telling you this story is because your copywriting inside of your LinkedIn profile, copywriting inside of your message sequence that you send to your prospects is the difference between you getting an astrological love type of result or a how to satisfy a woman every time type of result. Okay. So your copywriting it makes or breaks your LinkedIn campaign. So guys, because I've only got 40 minutes, I don't have time to talk too much about your LinkedIn profile, but what I will do instead is for everybody that sticks around to the end, okay, I will give you what we call our LinkedIn profile generator. And it's what we use to basically create $1 million profiles inside of LinkedIn. So it has things like, what you got to include in your LinkedIn banner. Okay. 6 key tips for your profile headshot, copywriting methods for your banner and your main headline, the changes that you can make to your LinkedIn URL to start ranking higher for your keywords, 12-step formula for your about summary, and a 5-step timeline method for your experience section. So basically to get your profile looking amazing. But what I will do is I will talk about this one thing because it's so important. So if you don't know Kim Yabsley, she's an absolute legend. She's also a business blueprinter, and we're working with her at the moment. So she came to us and she said, look, can you help us with our profile and can you help us with our LinkedIn strategy? So basically, this is 95%. This is a mistake that 95% of people make inside of LinkedIn. So this here inside this red box is what we call the main headline, okay? And it's right underneath your name. And 95% of people waste this opportunity by putting in their job title and who they work for, okay? Heaps of people do this. And it's the biggest mistake you can make on your LinkedIn profile. Guys, this is the most valuable real estate inside of your LinkedIn profile because it's everywhere, okay? When you start doing your LinkedIn campaign, everybody sees that, okay? The main headline. So we went and changed that to this, okay? Which is what we call a Google keyword search method, okay? It's what would your prospects be typing into Google if they were looking for your product or your service? And so she's all about culture transformation. So we obviously made it pretty and we obviously changed that, okay? So don't waste your real estate, don't waste your opportunity by doing that. Now, the thing is when people come to your profile for the first time, okay, you've just sent out a connection request and they're now checking you out to decide whether they're going to connect with you or not. When people come to you for the first time, they don't care about who you are, okay? And they don't care about where you work. What they want to know is what do you do, okay? Can you help me solve a problem that I have, okay? And are you somebody that will add value to my network, okay? Are you valuable enough to add to my network so that I can accept that connection request? They're the 3 things that are running through your prospect's mind, okay? So what you need to do here in your main headline is to simply tell them something, right? Give them a piece of information that instantly highlights what you do and how you can help them. All right, I need to move it along, guys. So this is a 12-step about summary formula that we created, okay? And it turns out a perfect about summary every single time. What we've done is we've taken basically the best copywriting methods, okay, from around the world, and we've put it inside of a 12-step formula that works inside of LinkedIn, okay? So it's things like capturing attention, addressing audience. So you gotta make people inside of LinkedIn want to click that see more button, okay? Because LinkedIn will only show like 3 lines. You debunk a myth to show your authority and expertise. This instantly propels you, okay, and basically highlights you as an expert in your subject matter. You ask a problem to highlight you ask a question to highlight a problem. Name the result that they want without any pain, okay? Tell them what's missing, okay? Tell them the missing link that they need to achieve the result. So most people know where they're at, okay? Most of your prospects know where they're at and they know where they want to go. They have an idea of what they want to achieve. What they don't know is the how, okay? They don't know what's in the middle, what it takes to get to where they want to go. You have to tell them what that missing link is, and that's your product or your service, okay? Tell them how that product or service works, list your products and services, okay, as a bullet point, and then highlight the problems and the solutions that it provides, highlight any time or money savings that they're going to achieve, promise a time frame, okay, you're going to achieve a result in 10 days, make the irresistible offer or offer a lead magnet, give a call to action. Now, guys, this is all inside of my LinkedIn profile generator, okay? And we go in depth. And basically what it does is it churns out a beautiful copy. And you can use this not just inside of LinkedIn, but you can use it all over, okay? You can use it in all of your ads and all of your other copywriting as well. So this is what we call our 5-stack experience timeline method, okay, that we created. And basically what we do is we take your experience section of your LinkedIn profile and we turn it into a sales page, okay? And so I won't spend too much time on this, but to say that when you add your media files here, okay, we recommend only adding 2 media files per timeline, okay? Because what that does is it allows LinkedIn to then show an actual header, okay? Now, header, okay, and copywriting trumps pretty pictures every single time. Okay, so we'd rather have headers there, okay, rather than, you know, by adding a 3rd image that then you lose the actual header. So I'll show you how to do that inside of the project profile generator as well. So let's move it along to filtering. So Sales Navigator filtering is important, guys. You need to understand that it's very different to Facebook or Google, right? You can't target by male or female. You can't target by age group. You can't target by interest, okay? LinkedIn doesn't work like that. What you can target is by title or job title, okay? Industry, location, seniority, okay? And company headcount. So like I said before, if you can give me the job title of your ideal client and the industry that they work in, okay, you can make LinkedIn work for you. So this is a list that we created for one of our clients, and he wanted to target chief investment officers in the investment management industry in Europe, okay? And you can see that Sales Navigator has produced 1,000 results, okay, or almost 1,000 people. Now, what we would do is export and extract that list. So we download that list and we start marketing to them. Now, these are all of his perfect ideal clients, okay? CEO and chief investment officer, okay? At all of these investment banks and pension funds and whatnot. They're the ideal client, but not just that, they're the actual decision maker, right? So we target to them with a message sequence that obviously converts. Now, out of 1,000 people like this, out of a list of 1,000, what you can expect is about 300 to 400 people will accept your connection request, okay, if you've got a great profile, okay, and if you're targeting the right people. Now, out of the 300 to 400 people that have now just joined your community and your network and your database, you could call it, okay, out of that 300 to 400, about 30 to 40 will then become warm leads pretty quickly, okay, if you're making the right offer. But yeah, LinkedIn targeting is very different and you need to make it work for you. Now, guys, this is the framework of a winning message sequence, okay? And there's either 4 or 5 messages, depending on how many offers you've got. But the first message is obviously the connection request, okay? And now LinkedIn has just culled everybody's connection request limits to 100 per week, okay? So it used to be 100 a day, and now it's only 100 a week. Now, as an agency, and I think we're the only agency that's figured it out, we know how to break those sending limits. So we'll still basically be able to send like 500. Okay.
Did you get vaccinated?
Hello?
Okay. I just wasn't sure because you missed the appointment.
Sorry about that. I don't know who that is. So yeah, you got to send a connection request, guys. Okay. Now, basically what we do inside of our software is we actually send a connection request, but we have a software that actually pulls out the email from that LinkedIn profile, and we basically send them emails at the same time, okay, which is really, really powerful. But what you guys got to do is you got to send a connection request and then wait 24 to 48 hours, send an intro message, and then wait 14 to 20 days before sending your first offer, okay? And the reason for that is because people need to see you. They need to see that you're active on LinkedIn. They need to see your profile image, okay? They need to see, you know, some of your posts. And so when you make that first free offer, okay, they already sort of feel like they know you. They've seen you before. They know what you're about. And then after that first free irresistible offer, if you've got a second really good lead magnet, we would send that after 7 to 10 days. And then after that, after another 7 to 10 days, we'll nudge them, okay, with a nudge message. Now, I'm going to break this down for you right now. Now, before I do, this is the data that we have from 20 million connection requests, okay, from the software that we use. Now you can see that there was 16.4 million connection requests that was sent with a note, okay, with a personalized note to connect with them. And there was 3.69 million. So let's call it 3.7 million that was sent without a note. And here are the acceptance rates and the results. So when you sent a connection request with a note, okay, the acceptance rate was 33%, okay? When you sent it without a note, it was 37%. So the acceptance rate actually increased when you sent a connection request without a note. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to bust a myth right here. Every LinkedIn guru will tell you that when you connect with someone or send a connection request, you need to send it with a personalized note. And for the longest time, I used to teach the same thing, that you need to personalize it, right? Like, don't be lazy, personalize the note, make it relevant to them. The fact is, it doesn't matter, right? And we've got the data to prove it. And I'll tell you what's infinitely more important than sending a connection request with or without a note. And that is your profile image and your main headline. So this is what we've worked out. When you send a connection request, right, what happens is LinkedIn will only allow like 220 characters in that note. So there's only so many different ways that you can actually send a connection request note. And after a while, they all look the same, right? But what people are doing is they're basing the decision to connect with you or not, right, based on two things that they see: your profile image and the first 60 to 70 characters of your headline. Okay, so what's infinitely more important than whether you want to send with a note or without is get your profile image right and get the first 60, 70 characters right. And like I said before, right, it needs to be instantly, they need to understand what you do and how you can help them, okay? Because they're going to decide, okay, do I want to add this person to my network? And the other reason why it's so important is because when people Google search you, right, Google pulls the information from your main headline of your LinkedIn profile, okay? And that's what they show other people on LinkedIn, on Google, sorry, okay? So they show you your main headline. So your main headline needs to be instantly, right? This is what I do and this is how it can help, right? And here you can see that for myself, I've used what we call the Google keyword search method, right? Now, for the sake of time, guys, I'm not going to talk about the connection request, right? But what I will do is I'll give you these slides so you can build your connection request yourself, right? So how this works is really, I've made it so simple for you guys. It's basically 1 + 1 + 1, and you've got yourself a connection request note, okay? And so you just pull, you know, the ones that you like, you put it together, and bang, you've got a connection request note. Now, I'm going to talk about something that's absolutely a lot more important. It's the intro message that comes after they've accepted your request, and it's the offer message. That's what's going to make or break your campaign, right? So the framework of an intro message, we call this the 4 S's, right? And you got to keep your messages to 300 to 400 characters. As soon as you go over 400 characters, it starts to look really long inside of LinkedIn, and it looks like you're trying to sell to them, okay? Even though you might not be. It's just long form doesn't work on LinkedIn. I've tried it so many times, it doesn't work, right? You got to keep it to 300-400. So the 4 S's, okay, is this. Number 1, show appreciation. Number 2, show interest. Number 3, seed your elevator pitch. Number 4, sign off. It's that simple, guys. So 4 S's, okay? So show appreciation. Guys, somebody has just let you into their LinkedIn network, right? So many people on LinkedIn use LinkedIn like a database or a directory, right? And they just spam people. I don't do that. And I've made the mistake of doing that before, okay? So I'm as guilty as anybody, but I don't do that anymore, right? When somebody accepts my connection request, in my mind, in my subconscious, I make a big deal of it. They've just let me into their inner circle, and I want to treat that relationship and I want to treat that decision that they've made with the respect that it deserves, right? So don't spam people, respect your boundaries. But what I do is I show appreciation, right? I'm like, oh, you just made my day. Thank you so much. You know, great to connect with you. Thank you for accepting my connection request. That's how I start that intro message. And then what I do is I show interest, right? Because nobody likes it when the person that you've just met, right, just all they can do is talk about themselves and they don't show any interest in you whatsoever, right? You don't like that person. Nobody likes that person. So treat LinkedIn like a business breakfast or a business conference where you're meeting, you know, your prospects. and treat the conversation like that. So I say things like, hey, I'm really, keen to learn more about you and your business. I look forward to following your work. It looks like you're doing some great work, your profile seems really interesting. I want to learn more about you and your business. So I show interest in them first, and then I seed my elevator pitch, right? Now, the key tip here is seed, but don't oversell. And that's the mistake that so many people make in their intros. They oversell what they do, and it looks like you're just trying too hard, right? So I say something like, hey, a bit about me. I work with target market to result. And that's I just leave it at that, right? Or, hey, I provide this solution for this target market. This one works really well for me. Hey, I build chatbots for, IT and SaaS companies. If I was going for another industry, I'd put that industry in there. But I say, hey, I build chatbots for this industry. Always great to sharpen my knowledge. Okay, that's all, and I'll leave it at that. And then I sign off really casual, guys, really brief, really casual, really nonchalant, right? See you in the news feed. Okay, look forward to exchanging some insights, something like that. So putting it all together, that's what an intro message should look like, and that's how short it should be. Okay, anything more than that, it comes off as salesy. And the fact is, guys, and it's what I've noticed, is if you seed your elevator pitch in such a way that it's intriguing and it sounds interesting, what happens is that people will then go, oh, tell me more about that, right? Because if you seed your elevator pitch and they're in that top 3 to 10% of your target market that are either ready to buy or in information gathering mode, they'll actually come back to you and they'll give you permission to actually pitch to them, right? So I basically say, hey, I build chatbots for lead generation here on LinkedIn, right? Or I work with target market to result. I run an agency, a company, an organization that specializes in this product, service, or benefit. That's how short your intro message needs to be. Again, I'm going to give you all of the slides, guys, and you can build it yourself. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about what not to do. Okay. And so there's three people here, and they've made sort of the mistakes that I want to highlight. So number one, this person here has basically done the whole, the whole, not hard sell, but a direct pitch, right? Which doesn't work. So it says here, hey, is your company in need of this service, right? And she's asked me a direct question like, do you have this problem and are you in need of this service, right? And I've said no thanks, and she hasn't respected my boundary, right? Literally like 45 minutes later, she's invited me to a webinar, even after I said no thanks. If you do this, guys, you've burnt that lead forever. Because what happens is the next time you actually have a different offer and you pitch it to that person, they're going to see the thread. And they're going to see what happened last time. They're going to see that whole conversation, right? And so don't do that. Respect people's boundaries, right? If it's a no, and in fact, when people say no thanks to me, I always message them back and to say, no problems at all, good luck. I say something really nice because the next time I pitch to them, they're going to see what I've written in response to what they've said, when they said no thank you. Now, this person here has written a book as his intro message, right? So I've just connected with him, and he's literally like, his intro message was like 4 times, see here, right? It was a book. Don't do that. It doesn't work. Long form just doesn't work, guys. And this lady here is actually quite good, but it's just too much for an intro message, right? I would actually break that up into like an intro message and maybe 2 offer messages that I would send 2-3 weeks later, right? So that's what not to do. So you can see the difference between that and this, right? It's nonchalant, it's non-threatening, you're not there to pitch them anything, right? And you're setting up the offer message, okay? And to actually want to talk to you later on. So a salesy offer, and I've done many salesy offers on LinkedIn, and I've burnt a lot of people along the way. 3 strikes and you are out. Okay. Even if you're not overly salesy, it's 3 strikes and you're out. So those sort of messages, hey, are you interested in this? Are you interested in that? These are our services, right? Those sort of messages, you do 3 of them, they'll never talk to you again. They'll never reply to you again. They might even block you, right? And because you come off as self-serving, self-centered, intrusive, forceful, assertive, you don't have these feelings inside of your prospects, right? But a helpful offer, and this is what I figured out, and this is what changed everything for us, okay? A helpful offer, you can send almost unlimited amounts, right? And all you're gonna come off as is, hey, this guy's like too friendly, he's too polite, he's too thoughtful, he's too supportive, okay? He's too considerate. You wanna leave those feelings inside of your prospects, right? That you're courteous, you're pleasant, you know, you're thoughtful. You want to leave that feeling, because then the next time you pitch, right, they're going to actually go, yeah, I'm actually interested in that. And the fact is, with LinkedIn, you sort of got to test it, right? Because I've got different products, and sometimes I've pitched one product or service and I've got crickets, I've got nothing. But then when I pitched another product, they were like, oh, I'm really interested in that, right? So sometimes it's just you're pitching the wrong product, okay? And what you need to do is you need to keep that relationship open so you can actually offer them different things. Now, I'm going to talk about the free offer, which is, you know, the most important part of this presentation. So the purpose of the free offer, okay, and inside of LinkedIn, you're never selling, okay? The sale doesn't happen inside of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is only so you can get the connection and the engagement, okay, and the relationship begins on LinkedIn, but the sale happens in the funnel that you put them into after, right? But the purpose of the free offer is to start the relationship. It's get engagement, get them engaged with you, right? Get them talking to you. You got to find a need, right? So the offer is all about, do you have this particular need, right? Or desire? Because you don't know, right? You don't know if your prospect is in that 3%, the 17%, or the 20%, or even the 60%. You don't know what part of that target market they're in. So you need to find out. You need to disarm them, let them know, hey, you're not another sales guy that's going to just pitch them. You need to help and not sell. You need to make an impression on your prospects, and you need to get them to opt in to you, okay? You're not selling to them, they're opting into you, okay? That's the purpose. So the 5-step framework of a free offer message is this. Again, keep it to, an offer message can be 500 characters and you'll still be okay. But what I do is I personalize and relate. I use the curious approach, which works the best, okay? Hands down, the best approach. You find a need or a desire, and then you offer the solution. You basically find a need or a desire, and then you say, let me fix that for you for free. And then you basically say, do you want that? Do you want me to fix it for you, right? You ask and you give away. So how I personalize is you just got to find something that they're going to relate to, right? So find some common ground and basically say something like, you know, if I was pitching to someone after Easter, I say, hey, hope you had a great Easter, right? If I was pitching to Sydney people, I'd say, hey, hope the lockdowns aren't keeping you down, right? Something like that that's going to be relatable to your audience, right? Then use the curious approach. Let them know that you've been checking them out. So I say something like, hey, I was just checking out your profile, or I was just checking out your website and, okay, or I was just looking at your profile and wondered if, hey, I just took a sneak peek at your profile and wondered whether, okay, hey, I've been following your work and thought I would reach out. That curious approach lets people know that, hey, you're doing your homework. You're not just blasting out, copy and pasting, copy and paste images, right? Or text messages, sorry. Now, this is optional but recommended, highly recommended, in fact. Use your prospects filters when you've taken the list, okay, and use those filters to then personalize the message. So something like, hey, I noticed that you're in Sydney, okay, or hey, I saw that your company is listed as having more than 200 people, okay. Hey, I just realized that you're in that industry or that sector. So you should have these filters when you downloaded your list, okay. Hey, I noticed we're in the same group. Hey, I noticed that you're this job title, okay. And then you find the problem, or if they have a desire or solution, because you don't know if they do or not. And what you need to do, guys, is you need to consult like a doctor. Okay, when you go to the doctor, they don't try and sell you medicine, right? They say, hey, where's it hurting? How long has it been hurting? Tell me, when the symptoms started. They ask those sort of questions, and that's what you need to do inside of LinkedIn to not come off as salesy. So what I do is I basically say, hey, is your business experiencing? Are you currently finding it hard to? All right, do you have any issues? Okay, when it comes to this subject, do you struggle with, okay? Could you use more of this? Would you benefit from something like this, okay? I say, hey, are your ideal clients here on LinkedIn, right? I ask them, because I don't know if they are or not, okay? I don't know if they're doing a LinkedIn campaign or not, okay? So I say something like, hey, are you currently looking to desire? And then I say, if so, then, if yes, then, if that's you, then, if that describes you, right? Then you fix their problem or provide a solution for free, okay? And this is where your lead magnet comes in. So to make LinkedIn work, guys, you need a really good lead magnet, right? You can't just have an off-the-shelf ebook or, some white paper. It needs to be pretty attractive. It needs to be something that they really want, right? And if you can give them that, they will opt in. So I say, hey, I want to give you this. I'd like to offer you this, right? I want you to have this. And, I want to help you by giving you this, right? And then after that, after I say to them, I want to give you my lead magnet, I say to them, it's going to benefit you by doing this for you, right? I'm going to highlight the main benefits. It's going to highlight the problem that it solves, okay? Hey, you can use it to benefit. Hey, it's helped over 10,000 CEOs to run their businesses more efficiently, something like that, right? You highlight the benefit or the problem that your lead magnet solves. And then I just say, do you want it, right? I don't force it on people. I don't say, let's have, what's your phone number? I basically say, look, is it going to help you? Because if it is, I'll send it right over. Or, hey, let me know if you want it, I'll email it to you, right? Really nonchalant, really non-threatening, okay? They can see that I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to try and jump on the phone and qualify them, right? It's just helping, right? You're saying, do you have this problem? If so, I've got a really great solution. I want to give it to you, but only if you want it, right? And you're being really respectful of that relationship. So putting it together looks like this. Hey, first name, hope you're well. I was just checking out your profile and I saw that your company is listed as having more than 200 people, right? With that many staff, I wanted to ask if you might be having any issues with this. If so, then I want to offer you this lead magnet. It'll help you to desire benefit or solve a problem. Is this something you'd find valuable? Let me know, I'll send it over, right? You're getting them to opt into you, right? Now, if it's of no interest, they're just going to ignore that message, but you're never burning that relationship, right? They're not going, oh, this guy's a salesman, right? They're just seeing you as somebody that's trying to be helpful. Hey, I've been following your work and I thought I'd reach out. Hey, I was wondering if you're currently finding it hard to implement this main desire in your company. If so, I want to help by giving you this. It's our signature lead magnet. Or the name of your lead magnet. Over 500 CEOs have used it to main desire their companies, right? Let me know if it's going to help. I'll send it over. This is my personal one, guys. First name, happy end of financial year, right? I was just looking at your profile and I wondered if you're doing any outreach here on LinkedIn. If yes, then here's a goodwill gesture for accepting me into your LinkedIn community. It's our LinkedIn profile generator that we use to create $1 million profiles. It's designed to double your acceptance rates and get you warm leads from sending connection requests. Let me know if you want it. I'll email it to you, right? So for somebody that's actually doing outreach on LinkedIn and somebody that's sort of looking at their profile and going, oh, my profile's not that good. Okay, this is very attractive, right? And so that's how you put it all together, okay? And again, I'm going to give you all of my slides so that you can build this stuff yourself, okay? So at the beginning, I told you about the 5-step formula for generating leads on LinkedIn, right? So again, getting your professional profile done, targeting your ideal client, and then creating that message sequence. I've shown you how to do that, right? Then all it is, once you got those 3 things right, LinkedIn just becomes a numbers game, guys, where you send an X amount of connection requests, you get this result. Okay, so the average is per 100 connection requests. This is the result you should be getting. When you send 100 connection requests, right, you should be getting 30 to 40% of people saying, yep, I'll accept that request. Okay, so you've just now added 30 to 40 perfect future customers to your LinkedIn database and your LinkedIn network. And then when you actually pitch the offer, okay, and you're being helpful and you're giving them that lead magnet, you'll get 10% of your new connections they will accept. So out of 100 connection requests, you're going to get 3 to 4 warm leads in your inbox. Okay. And so that's how you drive 3 to 4 leads into your LinkedIn inbox every single week. Okay. So I hope I've done my job. I've now run out of time. Guys, I've got so much more content. How to manage your leads and all of that. But I do respect your time and I don't want to go over. But I do want to make this one offer for you guys, which is really going to help. And it's understanding this thing called LinkedIn pods, right? And LinkedIn pods are amazing. Most people don't know about them, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pod called the Incredibots Agency Pod or the Business Blueprints Pod. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually invite you guys to join me on this pod and we're going to help each other out. So what this is when you make a post on LinkedIn, you can actually copy the LinkedIn post URL and you can put it inside of this software, right? And then what you can do is you can choose how many likes you want from your pod, okay? from all the members in your pod. And you can even type in the messages that you want your pod members to make on your posts, right? And so basically what this does, it does two things actually. When you do this, it actually fools LinkedIn's algorithm to actually keep your posts up higher for longer. So all of your target market sees it for a longer period of time. But the other thing that it does is when your prospects see your posts and they're seeing that you're getting all this engagement, right? They're going to be like, oh, this is interesting. I need to see this, right? And they're seeing all the comments and all of that. So this is awesome, guys, because you're doing it yourself, right? You're literally just copying the URL, putting it into this software, and then basically it takes a couple of minutes. You just choose how many likes and light bulbs and, you know, claps and all of that you want. And then you can just basically put your comments in here. And then what will happen is I would end up commenting on your post, but then when you do it to me, then you end up commenting on my post, and it's all automated. So I've got a referral link that I'm going to give you, and it's going to give you 500 credits, okay, to this software, so that you can get started. And there's a free account as well, okay, to get you started. So if you're interested in this pod and in joining the pod, and if you're doing any sort of posting on LinkedIn, right, you need to be here, because this will really, really help you rank higher when it comes to posting to your audience. Now, I did promise that at the beginning, right, that I was going to give away some stuff. So I've got 3 things that I want to give you that will really help you. Number 1 is the LinkedIn profile generator, and you can use that to build your own $1 million profile. Okay, so there's 2 things you can do with that. You can either get us to do it if you're strapped for time and you just want to get your profile going, or you can just get it and do it yourself. There's heaps of videos in there. There's, you know, sections where you answer questions, and boom, at the end of it, you will have a $1 million profile. Obviously, use these slides, okay, that I'm going to give you to build your messaging. Okay, that's going to really help you. But also, if you're sort of wondering, hey, you know, will LinkedIn work for me, or what's my opportunity look like inside of LinkedIn, then we have this thing called the LinkedIn targeting form, okay? And all you got to do is go, hey, Kwan, this is what I want to sell inside of LinkedIn, and this is who I want to sell it to, right? And I'll do a full report for you on the sort of opportunity that would exist for you inside of LinkedIn. So that's more for people that are just wondering whether LinkedIn's going to work. And then I'm also going to give you what we call our 50 shades of content, right? And so if you're sort of strapped for ideas of, oh, what am I going to post this week? There's 50 ideas that I've already put together. I'm going to give you that as well. And that's going to work wonders for you. So guys, I've got so much more slides. I've run out of time.
That's awesome.
So hopefully you got something out of that.
No, amazing. Thank you so much for that. It was greatness all over the place. And I know that in the comments, you can see everyone saying thank you so much and how awesome and the incredible value that you've provided. So thank you. Really appreciate that. If somebody's able just to pop those links, or if you've got those links somewhere, Kwan, that you can pop into the chat, that would be wonderful as well.
Should I put it in the chat, or should I put it in the Facebook group?
Yeah, in the Facebook group as well. But if you can add that just here, and then everyone can grab it before they go to lunch.
Yeah,
that
cool. Now, what I would do, guys, is if you want it and you want to make sure you get it, just text me. Just text me my number, or just email me. Just write my number down or write my email down, and I'll make sure you get it. I'm going to try and find the links, but it's going to take me like 5 minutes just to find the links and put it in the chat.
Yeah, cool. Then add them into the Facebook group. That would be great. Thank you so much, Kwan. I can see that Harry's also added the link in there as well, and your email address too. So much appreciated.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for that, Harry. Guys, I'm happy to take questions, but if you want to go to lunch, you can love me or leave me. I'm happy either way.
Wonderful. Awesome. All right. Well, we will finish that up now. So everybody, just so that you know, we are going to take our lunch break directly right now until 1:50 p.m. So if you have any questions, and Kwan is very generous to be able to stick around, the pod software, that's what I was going to ask as well. What is that pod software? Have you got a link to that?
Yeah, I'm going to put all of that in the Facebook group. So it's called Podawa, but I'll link it in. But yeah, I'll give you my link so that you can get 500 free credits to start with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That would be
it's going to take a little while, because you got to actually join the pod. There's a few things you need to know about it. So I need to make sure that you get it. You do it right.
Terrific. So we'll grab all of that inside the Facebook group, and we will also have the slides available as well once we've got the recording of the presentation. So that will be done over the next week as well for everyone. Thank you so much. Quan, we can see everyone saying thank you, Hidi you. Such wonderful expertise, great insight. Really appreciated right at the beginning. So setting up your profile in the right way, that was amazing. And not in the Facebook group. It will be in the Business Blueprint Facebook group. So that will be there. And some people are saying, darn it, they've already hit their weekly connection for the 100 connections.
I know how to break it. You can send like 500 if you know how to break it.
Wonderful.